I just got out of the shower, so this is one of these times where you have no makeup on that people want you to post. I just so excitedly wanted to share with you. I just got my first levothyroxine, I think it's called, medication for long term. I mean, I tried it before and it didn't work out, and now this NP, who I was lucky enough to see because my doctor I'm supposed to be starting with wasn't available, told me, like, she's giving me the lowest dose, which is 25 mcg. She said, just take one day, don't take it the next day. And then take one, don't take one. Because I'm thinking, God, wouldn't it be easy to cut it in half? But I want to listen to her because I'm thinking, if you cut it in half, though it has like little like marks where you can cut it in half, maybe that's for people, believe it or not, it's so tiny, but for people who can't swallow pills at all and they gotta mush it up. But I'm thinking, like, if you don't take enough of the dose, it might just sit there and linger in your system and not do what it's supposed to do. So at least when I'm taking it, I'm taking the full dose. So even though it's in there and the way my body absorbs things, it's a lot slower because of my hypoxic encephalopathy from anesthesia in 1990. So it's kind of like a kid's. I have to watch how much stuff I'm putting in my body and, how my body, like, absorbs things. So at least if it's taken its time, I'm not going to shock it by throwing another pill on top of it already. Because when I took one pill, I think it was like 5 years ago or something, when I took one pill, I felt so good. And the next morning I was just, waking up all curled up on my couch that I made into kind of a sleeper bed. And I said, I can't wait to take the next one. Well, what happened is I got palpitations, which is what happens from this drug. It's a side effect. And so I had to stop taking it. And this NP, she probably was afraid to say, well, why don't you just, not take it and then, wait a few days and then just try taking one and then not take it the next day, because she's probably afraid. I went to the ER because my blood pressure was up to about 140, and I thought, that's not that bad. I can just wait it out, don't do that, and then just talk to her and see what she says. And I got kind of scared, and, there's so many things in life that, you miss out on because you're afraid. And it's not like I made a bad decision. It's just that it's just kind of sad that the reason we can't do things is out of fear because, our health or what's going to happen to us. And that's constantly surrounding around me, like all the time. Whether or not I'm going to go take a bus to a certain area because I'm afraid. Because, like most places, there's going to be, I'm sorry, there's going to be situations where there'll be at least one or two people hanging around that, you're going to be uncomfortable around. And as long as it's a bunch of other people and, everyone's aware and you're just kind of, doing your own thing, it's okay. But, a lot of times I don't go to certain areas because I'm not sure who's going to be there and who's not. And like I'll look on the map and I'll try to hit the dot and open it up and do the circle view around the area. And sometimes I've circle viewed areas that were perfectly fine. I mean, there were plenty of the people that went there, even though it looked like, geez, kind of maybe sketchy. But so what I've been doing is going like a few streets out and then come home. And I've been finding new places, that I can go to because of this. But what else I found is, like, I can't really find a lot of good things to do. Like, I want to roller skate. There's no good roller skating parks for adults. Like, there's the kids and the skateboards, which I think is great. But I mean, I would be in the way. They only have like the tunnels, like the dips and stuff for the like skateboards and stuff. And I mean, I'd be like going like this and almost falling. I mean, I could go around them like that, but I mean, I really don't think they want me there, first of all. And secondly, I kind of think I'd be in the way. So that's one thing. And another thing is ice skating. I mean, everything's so expensive. There's one place I found that you can public skate. It's like $15. And then I don't even know if that covers rentals. So, I mean, it could be like $25 just to go skating for a couple of hours. And I thought, gosh, I mean, who can afford that? Especially if you have to bring all your kids and stuff. It's crazy. So it's like skating seems to be on the burner for me. And then I have a bike. I bought like a tricycle bike. I wasn't going to save it. I'm having a hard time putting it together. The rear axle, I tried to put it on the back of the bike, and I was able to do it finally. Like, I lifted up the two wheels or the, I don't know which part's the wheel axle, but there's two wheels, and then there's the body of it that has to slip in to, I guess the rear axle would be the two wheels in that area. And I put it in upside down, and then my back was hurting a little bit because I tried to lift it, so I laid off that for a few days. And then, of course, the fatigue struck in. I was walking, like, I start to walk again. With Hashimoto's, if you push yourself walking, it just comes back like a rush of fatigue all through you. And I finally was able to talk to a nurse practitioner about it, who didn't sit there and start assuming all these mental things. And she was just so literate and so smart. I went to an extremely good medical facility, and they are just like quick, and up on everything. And it's just put together unbelievably well. There's like buttons on both sides of the elevators, and usually I'm saying, oh, but you want me to push the button for you when I go to someplace? You don't have to do that. And then the doors don't shut on you. They don't even go near you. They can sense when you walk in. I'm used to doors banging into me, so it's like, and the test results, they come back, like, because I was tested so I could take this levothyroxine. I'm never going to get the name right. But, oh my gosh, like, I watched all the tests come in, like, within an hour and another hour. I think, like, after 3 hours, they were all in, and they went right into, like, a my chart thing. And they were all perfectly normal. I mean, except my thyroid, of course, because I've had that for a while. But that was shocking to me, because my body, I has been feeling like it's ailing horribly because of my Hashimoto's. And I'm saying, plus I might have allergies too, so they're going to test me for that. But I'm saying, I'm sure there's going to be something that's going to be a little off. I'll just do what they say. That's what I usually do. They say, cut back here, or do this there, or do something like that. And no, I mean, I've been doing like a ton of Reiki and a ton of yoga, and that must be what's helping me. And I really, really try to eat healthy. Like the last couple of weeks, I've been forcing so much protein into my body, almost where I want to, like, throw it up, because I can't get it down enough for what I need to have energy to even just go out for a walk. It was getting to. And so, like, this nurse knew. I just said what was on my mind, even if I was going to get judged. I said, I shove food down my throat because just so I can have the energy to go out. Now, most doctors or NPs will look at you like, okay, this is a mental thing. I go, you're going to have to take an antidepressant. No, they didn't say that. She finished my sentence and said, so you have enough energy to fight the fatigue. And I'm going, I took my eyes from down and looked up, and I'm going, yep, like, oh my God, and she knew exactly what I was talking about. And she was an NP, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. Like, I try to not say more than what I need to say, because I think sometimes you can really say too much, because when you're feeling awful, everything feels awful. So you're going to bring in more things than what really, I think, needs to be said. So that was my biggest thing. Like, I've been pretty miserable. Like, I couldn't even walk, or I'd get dizzy, and the head spins would rush right through my head, and I'd have to go home, and I literally would almost be passing out, just like half a mile or mile walks, and being out in the sun too long. So I got on Flonase again, and the only problem with that, I finally had someone tell me, was the fact that you can get nosebleeds or dry noses if you take it longer than 6 months. So I said, oh, I can deal with that. So she's just like, it's not really a big deal, so I'll just stay on it till I have trouble. But I'm already like 100 times better, because now I can breathe. I still have a little stuffiness, but they're going to check for allergies, which I've never had in my life. I've never had anybody suggest to have allergy checks on me. And like when I went in, my arms were all red and inflamed, and my body was just really fighting against me. And it was sunscreen that I had used before, so I said, I'm not really sure what's going on at this point. For some reason, my body seems to be reacting, pretty bad. So I don't know if that's to do with Hashimoto. So after looking at my tests, even though my TSHs were only 4.9, like zero something instead of 4.94 or something. This particular lab would be considered high. I've never been that high, and I'm like right on the end of where it would be considered normal. And because my tests are always so low, and then also with the hypoxic encephalopathy, my body doesn't really act like someone else's body. Like for me, that's probably my high, because my body doesn't know to react the way it needs to send, me the signals or someone else's signals that they need to see. So fortunately, like my, what's it called, anti-TPO, that lets them know that you definitely have Hashimoto's. You can tell in a blood test. I actually had nodules checked many years ago, and that's how they found out. But instead of having to worry about getting those tests, she was able to just run the blood and see it was extremely high. So, that took care of that. And then the fact that I think she got some of my, I'm sorry, I'm shaking the thing. I think she got some of my blood tests from other places. I tried to hurry up and send all the records over so that she could see what my tests usually are for the TSHs. And it's usually like at least 3.8 or lower. I've even had a 3.3. Now, I haven't felt the best when it's 3.3, but it certainly wasn't as bad as it's been. And what makes me sad is the fact that I have to feel bad at all, and they really don't make something that's safe enough for us. Now, there's many women out there like me that have autoimmune diseases or hypothyroidism. And, our bodies are so beat down and weakened. I think when we get something, it's usually this. And we have to suffer because there's nothing out there that's safe to take unless you're at these extreme levels where the medicine's not going to attack your body. And, I just think that's so sad. I mean, I'm running into more and more women that there's really not many medicines out there for us. So I just am very, very happy that tomorrow morning is the first day that I will take my full pill. And I'm going to pray to God that He please lets it go down and I take it well. I really, truly, truly need help for my body. And if it goes through tomorrow, I'm going to just be so happy because the next morning I don't have to take one. Give my body that whole day, and I really, really, really hope and it works. If anything, because I'm taking a day between, it probably will just bother me a little bit, and I'm hoping she says at that case for my particular situation that it's okay to cut it in half. That too much is still staying in my body, even though I'm giving it a day between. I'm just hoping because I did cut them in half, and it's easy to cut in half. I have one of those little pill cutters, and because there's a line on it, and my pill cutter lets you push it all the way up. I got it from like my OTC, and then you just close it, and it just cuts it perfectly. So I will let you know what's going on. I will keep you up to date. So cross your fingers, and I know so much what you guys are going through too. It's scary, but we're hurting. We're not living our lives. We're not living our lives enjoying it. We're just sad. So I hope that I have good news to share with you down the road. So take care. Lori Jean Finello, living positively today.